Okay, so you know when the idea of doing something is actually way more fun than actually doing it? Yeah, well that was my chaos themed ogre army. But it's okay, we're not letting that go to waste. We just need to recontextualize what we're making. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been working on a whole bunch of little projects, and somehow, out of all of them, nothing has worked out. And that's very frustrating. But just then, like literally moments ago, all these ideas have somehow managed to come together as like one big crescendo of solutions. Let me show you. And yes, the Nurgle Diaries are back. So during painting nights that I have with friends, that's when I normally convert and kit bash and make things for my Ogre Kingdoms army. And I found myself procrastinating because I got to a point where I was making my Ogre Kingdoms army and I was like, not really having any fun. So I ended up sculpting, and I started sculpting these really weird little faces, not for any purpose, just for something to do. And you know, I could feel myself getting better and practicing my craft, which was good, but I wanted to do something with them. And I figured I could make a giant army. I could put giants on like a diorama, and they could also function as a Age of Sigma army. And I was thinking about like, how do I make armatures and how do I pose them? And then how do I sculpt the hands? And then all of a sudden I needed to procrastinate again. So I thought I'd put all these ideas on paper, but first I would need a new notebook. And here it is. Ta-da! This is my second iteration of my Not a Notebook notebook. You saw the first iteration on a previous vlog. And it's just infinitely better than the last one. The cool thing about it is this little button that I sculpted out of Sculpey. And then I made a push mold and then filled that with black resin. I sculpted these heads and I was like, oh, this would look really good on one of my ogre models, and let me do that now. Oh, there's definitely glue in here. Okay, that'll do. So instead of doing an Ogre Kingdoms army, I'm thinking I'm going to do ogres for hire. Just make interesting mercenary ogres for my club, for Mordheim, Warhammer Fantasy, D&D, Arcane Ugly, Frostgrave, and then I can just make weird stuff like this without having to make an entire army dedicated to making weird stuff. That's what the Nurgle Diaries are for. Speaking of, conveniently for my Ogre Kingdoms army, I bought a lot of circus animals, and I had plans of turning them into ogres, but I think actually keeping them as animals would fit really well into the circus theme of the Nurgle Diaries. And then I can do ridiculous stuff like that. And I'm thinking all these monsters can go on these big bases. I'll put them in cages, and over here, remember when I made all these wagon wheels? Yeah, I can put the cages on wheels. While I'm planning out new parts of my projects, I do essentially sketches, but with kit bashes. I just lightly tack things together with super glue, and I came up with this little hog snappy creature, which I love a whole lot. And I was looking at the wheels and I thought they would probably be the perfect size for our little animal carts. So instead, I'm thinking we take these wheels off and we put these big ones on because they're a little bit more interesting, and we'll just make some copies of these little ones. Hot, hot, hot. I'm making as many push molds as I can to avoid having to do too many resin pours, just because it's my least favorite part, mixing up resin and having to get it in the molds. I actually really like this little cart quite a lot. I don't know if it would be fitting for my Carnivals of Chaos, but I'll probably take a sketch of it and use it for Arcane Ugly, and then break down the parts again. Give it a shake. Ta-da! Alright, what are we working with? I mean, not bad. Clean that up. That one's a bit lumpy, that's fine. Ta-da! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. What does it look like with the models? Ta-da! Yeah. Can I be fucked to make another cage? I don't know. So I might have to come up with a solution for the other big animals I have, but yeah. The other thing is, I have this big guy, who I wasn't really sure what I was making him as, but as a very clever commenter pointed out, this would make a great, what's his name? Tamakan? Tamakan? Yeah, Tamakan, the Nurgle, he's a Nurgle hero guy anyway, and he rides like a plague toad dragon thing. And yeah, anyway, I have to do some fixing up on this guy, so let's do it. Are you ready? Yeah. Horrific, right? I love it. I love it a lot. Definitely my biggest regret of all Nurgle Diaries is not playing into the circus theme nearly enough. And we're going to fix that. We're also going to finish what we started and make things a little bit easier on ourselves. See you soon.